Okay, most people who are pitching gold, like I did before in a different stage of my life, don't appreciate that gold is truly an elite asset. So that's what I want to talk about here. I want to talk about gold as a savings technology for the normal person and why it is a complete and utter scam designed to keep people poor. And the mining companies are in it, are in on it. The pitchers are in on it. The people that sell the gold bricks are in on it. And I want to talk about that right now because this is the number one thing that I think will affect those people who are on the right path. If you're a gold bug and you're a gold investor like I was, you are on the right path. You're looking for hard money assets. You understand how the financial system is screwed up. You understand how there are a handful of people in the world printing your wealth out of existence. You already understand this. And yet, you are being kept away from the true solution, which I believe is Bitcoin. I'm about to make my case for it. So what I really need you to do is subscribe to this channel. Because as you subscribe, the faster you subscribe, the faster YouTube puts it in front of other people that have also been lied to about gold, and that will hear this message and hopefully make a slight pivot and a change if what I'm saying makes sense in this video. So, gold has been pitched by people around the world, whoever you want to call them, the Peter Schiffs, the Robert Kiyosakis, anyone else that has ever spoken about gold, including this moron, right? Including this moron until my eyes got opened. Gold is, to me, an elite asset. Firstly, if you've watched my video on whether gold has kept up with M2 or not, it's not. Gold's value against the amount of money that keeps getting printed is worse and worse and worse. In fact, I'll put a chart right now on the screen, and what you'll see here is this is gold valued in M2, money supply. And the peak was in 1970, and now the value has absolutely collapsed against the money supply. The dream of gold bugs is that one day, so we're going to get into our mental masturbation territory. One day, gold will be immediately repriced and it will be worth $15,000 an ounce, and suddenly we will be vindicated. And until then, you keep getting broker and broker and broker. That's basically the gold investor strategy. And especially for people who they prey on, which is the people that are not multi-millionaires, right? Because when I was buying gold, I was paying 2 to 3% above the spot market price, right? So if gold was sitting at $2,000 an ounce, for example, I was buying it for $2,040 an ounce because I was buying ounces, right? I'm buying ounces at a time. And by the way, I want, for full transparency, my gold position started being sold off in April of 2020, and by November of 2020 I was completely out of my gold position after being a gold fan, a gold proponent, and talking about why gold was a good investment, because I realized I woke up to what Bitcoin actually is, and I woke up to what true scarce assets are, because ultimately my emotional attachment is not with the yellow metal. It's also not with Bitcoin. It's with scarcity, because scarcity is the only valuable thing here, right? So the only disadvantage that I had is that when I wanted to buy gold, I had to wait and buy it in $2,000 chunks in this example, if the gold is $2,000 an ounce, because I need to get the lowest premium. So in between me saving up to $2,000 to buy another ounce of gold, anything could have happened to the financial system. I could have been devalued in the financial system, right? Now, let's have a look at, that's me, right? That's my problems. That's a handful of wealthy people. That's their problems. Let's have a look at somebody of a normal wage, or of a middle class family, or even someone who is a low single digit millionaire who's got most of their wealth tied up in real estate, which might be yourself. Most of your wealth is tied up in real estate, and you're looking for diversification in gold, and everyone's been telling you you need to get into gold, even though it does absolutely nothing, right? You get screwed. Why? Because if you're a normal wage earner and you want to use gold as a savings technology, let's say you want to buy 2 grams of gold on a weekly basis, right? That would be like $200. $200, and you want to put it into gold on a weekly basis, 2 grams of gold, right? If you go look at the AppMex website, and I'll put the screenshot up now, to buy 1 gram of gold in a bar form, because that's how they tell you to do it, physical form. Don't trust the ETFs, right? As a gold pitcher, as a physical gold guy, don't touch the ETFs because the ETFs are evil. The ETFs where all the manipulation happens. Make sure you buy the physical. Make sure, I'm Mike Maloney now. Make sure you buy the physical. Don't trust the ETFs. Don't trust the ETFs. Don't trust these market functions that are set up to create more efficiencies in the market. Make sure you buy the physical. Right, let's have a look at why they say make sure you buy the physical. Because when you go to AppMex and have a look for 1 gram bar of gold, it's $99.34. However, when I go look at the market price, the true market price of gold on Gold Price, 1 gram is $58.92. So what does this mean? That means that when you go buy that physical gold, there is a 68.6% premium on top of the price of gold for you. As a normal wage earner trying to save your way to freedom through gold. What does this mean? It means that you work your ass off, you work in a job which doesn't even keep up with inflation in the first place. You then get pitched by one of these guys to save your wealth in gold. You actually listen and do the right thing by saving your wealth in real gold. And then you listen to, one of these assholes like me that's telling you you need to get into physical gold and you need to hold gold and this, that, and the other. You hand over your $100 to buy your 1 gram of gold, and you get back $60 of real gold, which means that the gold has to go up 69%, 68.6% in this scenario, before you break even on that gold bar. Before you break even on that gold bar. Think about that. Gold has to go up 68, 67, whatever, 69% in order for you to just break even. When gold is up 69%, that's when you start making money. I've already been making money because my premium in gold is 3%. Because I'm buying ounces, you're buying grams. So the normal person gets screwed with gold. And there is no finality of scarcity in gold. More gold just keeps getting discovered. And even on Twitter, I had this back and forth with GoldSeek, Peter from GoldSeek. I used to love this site. And then I hear his response to my tweet, and I'll put the link to the tweet in the description, so go check that out. But his argument is the time that it takes for new gold mines to be discovered is getting longer and longer. And so therefore, gold is we're at peak gold. And I replied to him and I said, how can you say that? How can you use that as your example when you know and I know that the investment in looking for new gold mines has been going down over the last few decades because gold is no longer interesting. But it's important to say peak gold so that the average person starts getting scared into gold, and the average person starts using gold as a savings technology, and the average person can be the profit mule for these companies. Because when they sell me an ounce of gold, the profit margin is $40, right? It's 2 or 3%. When they sell you a gram of gold, and they can sell a lot of grams of gold, the profit is 60%. So tell me, do they want gold to stay affordable for you? Yes. That's why they mine. That's why the supply goes up as soon as the price goes up. Because they got to keep the price down so that normal people will continue buying gold and keep maintaining their 60+% profit margins. Gold is at best an elite asset. And it is a lie, because there is no way that I would want anyone in my family or anyone that I care about to buy a gram of gold or save in it, and then the thing has to go up 70% before you can even start making any money. Then addition of that is that there's no finality or scarcity on the underlying asset, right? So as the price goes up, more players enter the market, bring the price down because more gold gets discovered. The little guy continues to get screwed as usual. You can never break out of that because you're earning a wage that's below inflation levels. Then you're going in and trying to figure out how to own this asset that doesn't have finality or scarcity. And then you're paying, it needs to go up 70% for you to actually break even and start making money. Whereas with Bitcoin, it has finality or scarcity in anyone on the face of the planet. If you want to buy Bitcoin, you can put $100 into Bitcoin and get $98 of Bitcoin back, right? There might be a 2% fee, there might be a spread on it, but you will get that back. Whether you are a multi-billionaire like Michael Saylor, a millionaire like myself, or someone working on the street. It is the same asset for everyone. That's why Bitcoin will always win, and that's why we are racing against the same scarcity. That's why this is so important, because you, me, billionaire, person on the street are chasing the exact same asset, and there's only 21 million of them, and this is the absolute first time that this has happened in human history. Gold is a scam for the average person. If you are saving in gold and you are not understanding what you are doing and you're just reading books from people that have been wrong for 3 decades, and you are reading that and going, I'm going to take $100 a week, $200 a week, put it into gold, hopefully my children benefit from that, you are wrong. You're doing your children a disservice, and you're missing the opportunity to learn about the actual true scarcest asset known to mankind, which is Bitcoin. Works on the same fundamentals as why you got into gold. Unlimited money printing, it hedges against that. The fact that it's a hard asset, it actually hedges against that because it is a hard asset. There's only ever 21 million. Bitcoin is what gold has been trying to be, but Bitcoin is actually it and actually fixes the problem and takes away the money-making opportunities from the people that want to pitch you physical gold. And I know this because I was one of them. So, here's what I am going to suggest if you are a gold person watching this video thinking I'm crazy because Mike Maloney, Peter Schiff, and whoever else has told you that you need to own physical gold and sit on it in order to make money, even though you've got the worst performing funds and worst performing results over the last 10 years. The question you need to ask yourself is this: how has gold served you over the last 10 years? How has gold served you over the last 10 years? And what is your reason for investing in gold? Is it the fundamentals behind gold that are pitched to you, or is it the emotional attachment to the yellow metal? If it is the emotional attachment to the yellow metal, just like my parents are attached to their real estate, I can't say anything more. If, on the other hand, it is for the opportunity to protect yourself against the amount of money printing that there is in the world, against the amount of control that is coming in the world, then I want to implore you to learn about Bitcoin, because you have one chance. If you think that your children are going to need hard assets 50 years down the line from now, the responsibility today is on your shoulders, because there's actual finality of scarcity, and it cannot be manipulated for too long like gold is from every single direction. Everyone thinks, oh, the ETF manipulate. Why do you think they told you the ETFs are a scam? You need to hold physical gold. I was the only one in the space saying physical gold, yeah, you should have some physical gold, but the ETF is a viable option. Why do you think they said that? Because when you buy the GLD ETF, it reduces your cost of ownership from that 60% down to 2%, even if you're only putting $500 into it. GLD killed the market for physical gold sales for the small person or for the medium person, so they had to keep going down. The predators had to keep going down to the poorer and poorer person to sell the gold and generate the profit. Why do you think they advertise so much? When's the last time you saw Bitcoin doing an advertisement about itself? So, gold is a very predatory market, and I want you to be aware of it, and hopefully this video has given you an example of why gold is a predatory market for most people, and I want you to spend time understanding this. Gold is not scarce, therefore it is manipulatable, and that we have not reached peak gold. We've just significantly reduced the amount of investment from venture capital that's going into looking for gold mines because they don't care. Nobody cares about gold at this point. It might be sitting on balance sheets and everything else, but every report that we see shows that the next generation that's adopting and inheriting the amount of wealth that's coming down the line is liking gold less and less because they understand what is happening. The world is moving forward. Gold has failed. If you are a gold bug, I want you to share this with every other gold bug you know. If you're not a gold bug, share this with every gold bug you know, every fan of, Kiyosaki, Mike Maloney, Peter Schiff, etc., etc. And help people at least have the opportunity to understand why gold has been a scam. And despite what you think as a gold bug, despite what I ever thought as a gold bug about Bitcoin, there are still only 3 rules to Bitcoin. Step number 1, you buy Bitcoin. Step number 2, shut the fuck up. And step number 3, you get fabulously wealthy.